Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beck's Quest. And we are going to cover week 6 wrap up. How did we do? Did week 5 completely derail my progress? Week 6, coming off of week 5, has been really good. We accomplished 3 training days in week 6. And one of those training days was a really exciting thing for me. I finally got to a point where I was able to do a HIIT cardio training day. I don't generally need to add or haven't been adding cardio days because I walk so much. Like I said, anywhere between 8 to 12,000 steps a day is just normal for me. And this week 6 was no exception to that rule. Look, I got a lot of steps in. However, I want to turn up the fat burn a bit, and HIIT cardio, just a bit of HIIT cardio every now and then is really helpful for your cardiovascular system and kind of revs things up. And I also think that with the statistics of what's happening with my body in regards to my clothes, how they're fitting, and how I feel that I'm looking, and the scale, with all of that, what's great is there's like no weight gain. We're really kind of just, because of coming out of week 5 where there was no training in week 5 and being on vacation and eating whatever I want, basically, it was still really good because week 6 there was no weight gain, everything was really balanced. So let's talk about week 6. We had our push day, which I'm still feeling a bit. We had our push day where we had chest flies as my warm-up. So I do either chest flies or cable pullovers, whatever is available at the gym. I start with that and I do about 3 sets of 20 reps, but at a low weight. So I do about 10 kilograms so that I can warm up the chest and the shoulders, a little bit of my lats, because I'm going to be pushing, right? So look at those arms, right? Look, I still have some bat wing, but the arms are, the shoulders, they're going. I'm super happy. Anyway, so on my push day, I'll either do chest flies. You can either do the one where you hold or you push, or cable pullovers where you kind of pull over. And so I'm warming this whole area. And so I do 3 sets of 20. For me, my low weight is 10 kilograms, but that's overall. Like if it was single arm, it would be about 5 kilograms. But with double arms, it's 10 kilograms. And that's my warm up, because I need to get my central nervous system ready for the weight I'm going to be pushing. So in between my chest press, while I'm cooling down from that, I put in my push-ups. Now, I used to do push-ups on the floor and I could get through about 20, but 3 sets of 20 push-ups on the floor, it starts getting really challenging in the middle of the second set. I can get through 1 set of 20. However, I don't think my form is great. So what I've started doing is full push-ups, because I don't like the knee ones. My knees don't like the weight and the way it feels when you're rolling for the girly push-ups, they call it. But the progressive push-ups on the knees, I just don't do well on. So what I do is I find like a bar or a machine where I can make myself at an incline and do my push-ups at an incline. So it's not upright, but it's also not completely flat. I'm at a bit of an incline and I'm doing my push-ups, my 3 sets of 20 in between. So I'll do a chest fly set and then I'll do my push-up set. 3 sets of 20 is what it's going to be. So I do 20 chest flies, then I do 20 push-ups, and then I do 20 chest flies, 20 push-ups, 20 chest flies, 20 push-ups, right? That's my warm-up for this whole area for my push day. And with me doing the push-ups at an incline, what that allows is for me to really concentrate on my core, on my shoulders, on my elbows, where I generally wear arm braces when I do push and pull days so I don't mess up my elbow, because I've had little injuries with my elbows before. And so what I do is really concentrate on good form when I'm doing my push-ups that way. And it really helps to have not the full weight, because when I'm doing the full weight, I think I tend to cheat my elbows out too much to compensate for my body weight. And so when I do it on incline, it's progressively easier. And so as I get stronger, what's great is I can pick a lower level and eventually get back to the flat push-up. And hopefully by then I've gained enough strength that my push-up form is really good. So that's the warm-up on day one for my push day. Then I go to and do bench press. Now, before I was using the guys part of the gym. I know it's not the guys part of the gym, the normal free weights section of the gym. However, at the gym I work at, we have a separate women's section where we can work out. And it's just easier to get to the free weights in the women's section than it is in the guys section. It's easier to get a bench and to get free weights in the women's section. A lot of women in my gym do upper body, but a lot of them concentrate more on their lower body. So it's actually harder to get a hip thrust machine or a squat machine, a rack, as opposed to a bench and the free weights for the upper body. So I tend to do my bench press in the women's section and they have the preset weighted bars, and because I'm by myself and I don't have anyone to spot me, I'll just do a warm up with 20 kilograms for my bench press. So for my warm up, what I do is a warm up of 8 reps, but I only do one set, right? So I do one set of 8 reps at 20 kilograms. And that's my warm up for my bench. And then I put the bar away, and then I pick up the 25 kilogram bar. And then I do 5 sets of 5. And in certain gyms, it does go up to heavier barbells that you can get, like 30, 35, 40, they do, that are preset. And when I'm at certain gyms or up in the men's section, they have the men's section. I need to stop calling it the men's section. Up in the normal part of the gym where the free weights are racked, there is more choices of barbell weights. So I think they can go up to like 50, 55. And then you have your normal bench press racks ready to go. But I like the pre-made ones because A, it's easier. You don't have to rack them and get them ready. And B, I know what weight I can handle and I don't overdo it and don't have somebody to spot me. It's really dangerous. I could really hurt myself. So I know I'm safe with 25 kilograms, probably 30, 35 even. But after that, I have to get a spot, because when I get tired, 5 sets of 5, those last couple of sets, the whole idea of progressive overload is it needs to get a bit tough. And with 25, I know that at 25 kilograms, I know that with the normal where you stack them and you don't have anyone there, it's really dangerous. So guys, do not try to do these heavier weights without a spot if you're not sure, right? You can also injure yourself. No ego lifting, right? I do believe that I'll eventually have to go up to the other part of the gym and increase my weight, because 25 is all that is available in the ladies section at the 2 gyms that I mainly go to. So I have to go to the other part of the gym to find the heavier weights. And maybe if I'm lucky during the summer, there'll be more friends that can go with me that can also help spot me for my bench. Then after bench press, I do incline dumbbell press. And what I do is 4 sets of 12 with that. Right now I'm at 8 kilograms. I was going up, but I had to back off because I was having those weird neck and shoulder issues. So I'm right now recovering and staying safe with the 8 kilograms in each hand for my dumbbell press. And I'm really making sure my incline is at an incline. Before, I think I had my bench way too high, and then it's basically a shoulder press. So I need to make sure I'm doing a real incline dumbbell press for my upper pectorals. Then I do tricep push downs with the rope and really work the back of my arm area. I've seen the overhead ones and I want to try those eventually, but right now I'm really concentrating on the push down because I'm really trying to perfect the form on that one, and I really feel it. And so right now I'm doing about 20 kilograms. I think maybe in a couple of weeks as I progress, I might be able to go up 2 more kilograms, possibly 5. The other thing is I've noticed with each gym, the cable machines they're not all the same. They're not calibrating the machines equally at every gym, which is a bit frustrating, but I guess you can't really expect that. I guess they have to pay someone to go do that and calibrate all the machines, but all the machines are not calibrated equally. So on some machines, I can do way more weight, and then on others, I'm like, what happened to my gains? And it's not me, it's the machine. No, really, it's the machine, it's not me. Anyway, so after the tricep cable push downs, which I do 5 sets of 15 to, I do dips, but the dips I do machine assisted dips because I am not yet at the level of dipping with my own weight. I might be able to get 1 dip in. And this way I can set the machine, and right now I have it set at 50 kilograms to offset my weight in helping me doing the dip machine. Then I'll go down to 45, and then I'll keep going down eventually. The hope is that I'll be able to do multiple sets and reps of dipping my own weight. Let's hope I can become She-Hulk status where I can do that. It's the same goal as kind of like being able to do a dip is in the same ballpark as being able to do a pull-up, right? And a clean one. So eventually I will get to where the dips will get better and better. I think I'm a few years away from that though, where I don't need assistance, but I do the machine assisted dips. I'm looking at my notes, by the way. 3 sets of 15. So I'm doing 3 sets of 15 reps. And generally that's my last exercise on my push day. And if I feel so inclined and I have time, then I will add in some ab workouts, like a hanging leg lift for my abs or my lower abs, and then a decline ab sit-ups where I'm hanging over, where you're kind of like this and your head is down here and you're like doing sit-ups from a decline. So generally I'll try to do those on my push day, but this week I didn't. I just got through the push day and did other things. So that was the push day. Then my next workout this week was a HIIT cardio, and it's basically a 20-minute workout, 20 to 30 minutes based on my warm up and cool down. But this was my first one ever on an elliptical cross trainer. And for years I've used an elliptical, but I've never figured out how to do HIIT. And when I used to do HIIT cardio, it was just on the treadmill because it was the easiest to figure out. So you're like walking and then you're sprinting and then you're walking and then you're sprinting. And I can't do that anymore since I've been having the weird foot problems and the weird calf problems with that pull on the Achilles up through the calf muscle. So I decided to play better safe than sorry. And now that my legs and feet are feeling a lot better, now they're not perfect, but we are in a really good place. So my HIIT cardio workout was on the elliptical cross trainer, and I did a 3-minute warm up, just slowly. And for you, your warm up is for you, right? So you can do 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you feel like you need to warm up, right? And so for me, because I walk so much, 3 minutes is plenty. So I do a 3-minute warm up, and then I turn the intensity on the elliptical way up. For the first sprint section of the HIIT cardio on the elliptical was I just kind of went halfway up because I wasn't sure how intense that would be. And it was pretty easy, I thought. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go all the way up. So you do 3 minutes warm up, then you do a 30-second intense moment. So 30 seconds, and then you have a cool down back to your walking level for 1.5 minutes. So 1:30, right? So warm up, then run, sprint as fast as you can, whatever your intensity, for 30 seconds, then 1.5 minutes cool down, like get your heart rate down, get your breath. And the first few sets of that was pretty easy. And so you do that 8 times. You do 8 rounds of those 30-second bursts of higher intensity. That's HIIT, high intensity interval training, with 30 seconds high, 1.5 minutes, cooling down, breathing and stuff. And so once you do 8 rounds, then you do your cool down, and it can be anywhere from 2 minutes to 5 minutes to whatever you want it to be to catch your breath. Because honestly, I do about 2 minutes to cool down after that, maybe 3, and then I get off the machine, and just because I know I'm going to be walking and cooling down around the gym or as I pack up to go. So, and as my commute home, it's just, I'm still walking, I'm still cooling down. So I don't really need that crazy of a cool down after my training. So there's no reason to stay and waste your time. Just get it done, right? Then my last training for this week was a leg day, and I met my friend Rebecca. She's one of my best friends. I have several best friends and they're named Rebecca. I know, it's crazy. I'm Bex, which of course is short for Rebecca, and I have very good friends both named Rebecca. Maybe I just like to collect Rebeccas. I don't know. Maybe I'm a narcissist, possibly. So my third training of the week was my leg day, and I got to go with my friend Rebecca, and she actually filmed me. So I was a bit scared about her filming me, because I was like, now I really have to look at my form, and I really have to see, okay, are my squats low enough? Is my form good enough? Am I sticking my head up because I have a tendency to lift my head when I'm squatting. I don't know why. When my body goes down, my head goes up. I don't know what that's about. If you know, please tell me, because I have no idea why I do that. So first we did squats, and we did, of course, the free squats. We didn't use the Smith machine. It was her first time with me doing it without the Smith as well, which is great because, again, we're working on balance. Then we did deadlifts, and we did sumo deadlifts, which really helped with the form and the strengthening of our hips and our legs and our butt and our back. And I really like the sumo deadlifts in comparison with the normal deadlifts. I also feel that it doesn't affect, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I always feel like I'm gonna have a bladder problem if I do normal deadlifts. And for some reason, the sumo deadlifts, I don't feel the urgency the same way I feel normal deadlifts, which I find interesting. And so I feel more in control in so many ways just with the sumo deadlifts. Then so she filmed me also doing deadlifts. And then after we did RDLs, single leg RDLs with the hip hinging, but there were so many people around because we had to walk over to the benches and the free weights for that. And there were just so many people right there hovering around the benches that I didn't want to film and get into people's faces and spaces with my filming, because I just don't think it's proper etiquette, nor I don't think it's appreciated by fellow gym goers. So we made sure that we were respectful as much as possible when filming. Then after the RDLs on our leg day, it took some time because we had a lot of heavy lifting and, switching off and switching weights, because we both are at different levels. We have different needs with our weightlifting and such. And so after our RDLs, we did the proper thing that everyone probably should do, and we stretched. I'm so glad she was there to make me stretch because I'm so lazy when it comes to stretching. I'm just like, when I'm done with my workout, I just want to get out of there. And she's like, now let's go stretch. And I'm like, oh, yes, you're right. I know. Okay, let's stretch. So we stretched, and then we used the vibrating plate for continued stretching after that. So after our normal stretching, then we did the vibrating plate stretching, which really, I've done this before with her. She has a pass for weekends for guests to come with her at her gym, which I love because it's really fun to get together with friends to go train. So I went with her, and this is when we go to her gym, they have these vibrating plates, and I've done it several times with her, and I really feel a difference. There's something about that vibration, that shaking that gets into your muscles as you're stretching. It's really nice. I don't know if it breaks up the lactic acid better. I'm not sure what the purpose or how it works, but it does seem to be a deeper stretch. I really should do my research. I am coming in ignorant and blind on this, and I should have looked this up months ago when I started doing it. What is the deal with the vibrating plates? That is so cool. It really seems to work. I recommend it. Maybe it's psychosomatic, maybe it's a trend. I don't know. It's been around for a while, but I definitely have felt a difference from stretching on those as opposed to just normal stretching by itself. Or not stretching at all. So stretching good, not stretching bad. So that was, I wrote my book, I called it The Shake Plate. I don't know what it's called. Talk about ignorant. My goodness, I need to do my homework. Now, eating in week 6 was really good. I already told you about the beef broccoli I had made a week or so back. This week, my boyfriend bought some really lovely steak and had it ground. And so one night we had really lovely organic ground steak burgers, and the flavor was so nice. And of course I ate it on my gluten-free bun, and he made homemade roasted potatoes in the oven, which were crispy. He always puts fresh garlic on them, and nobody would kiss us but us because we smell the same. But my goodness, so much garlic on those potatoes, which I really enjoyed. And he's learned to cook them on the baking paper so that they don't stick, and you can use a lot less oil when baking, which is because we have a nice little oil sprayer. So a lot less oil is needed when you're using baking paper. So pro tip there for you. Bake on baking paper. It saves you on having to use too much fat when you're cooking, and we all need to avoid too much fat, right? So that was one of our meals this week. Another meal that we had, we used the rest of the steak later to make taco meat. So we had lovely taco night with a friend of ours, our friend Lena, who came over. They were studying for some big exams and stuff coming up for their degrees and stuff, and we made tacos and had guacamole, homemade guacamole. I didn't eat a lot of that because I'm really careful about the fat and that. Even though it's good fat, I still need to watch my calories and watch how much fat I'm taking in. And a bit of manchego cheese. And what I like to use, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I like skyr, and it's like an Icelandic version of Greek yogurt. It's the closest thing I could compare it to, but it's really closer taste-wise on the edge of sour cream. It's kind of between yogurt and sour cream, and I use it for everything. I can eat it in shakes. I can eat it with berries. I mostly use it mixed in things, but I use it as a substitute for sour cream. So when I eat tacos or whatever else that requires a creamy something, I use skyr, and it's high protein. Skyr has got a nice protein level to it, so it's just naturally higher in protein than normal yogurt. So I use that instead, and on my tacos, it's so good with some taco sauce and skyr and the meat and the crunchy tortilla. It's just amazing. So we had a taco night. We also this week met with friends and had a charcuterie evening where he bought some beautiful cold cuts from the gourmet, it's called Interspar in Vienna, and it's like a really nice big grocery shop where you can get a lot of specialty foods and organic things. It's a cool shop. You can get a lot of things there. And he bought some beautiful cut meats and some beautiful cheeses, and we had honey and homemade strawberry jam that he made. He's a keeper, man. He cooks really good. But yeah, so it was a day of indulgence on that day, but that's pretty much, I knew that I was indulging, so I didn't go overboard before, and macro balanced my diet for that day where I could have that. And then our friends who came and joined us actually brought over Brazilian cheese bread, which doesn't have any gluten in it, just naturally gluten-free. Naturally, it's gluten-free because of the recipe, how it's made. And if you have ever had Brazilian cheese bread, heaven, it is so good. I ate way too many of those. They were delicious. And we had some lovely sparkling wine, some champagne. We had some cocktails, or I had one. I had an amaretto sour. My boyfriend makes the best amaretto sours. And the secret is all the fresh juices that go in it. So I had one of those. So I had a lot of macro counting that day, and I was a bit over my carbs, but the other days were not so bad, so I'm not mad about it. It's whatever. Like I said, all the work I put in this week and the really balanced eating I did all week really showed up for me. I'm feeling great. The scale is looking great. My clothes are fitting better. So we're still making progress and still enjoying date nights and a little bit of indulgences here and there. And so I'm not too mad about it. However, I am planning on this next week, now that I know I can do the HIIT cardio on the elliptical, I am planning on week 7 having a few more HIIT days mixed in with my weight training and going back up in my training. As long as my feet and legs hold out, we're good. So yeah, week 6 was a really, really nice week. It was full of surprises and wonderful get-togethers with friends, enjoying nature. I finished the week with a beautiful walk in the park that's near us with some friends, and just enjoyed the summer day and the beauty of the city that we live in. I really love living here. So I hope that you also had a really nice week. I hope that you're finding balance in your life and enjoying things and just remembering that there's so much beauty around us, and our choices can make our life so much better. It's all about balance, guys. And I am on a quest to really meet that healthy balance in life. And so I hope that you're finding that too. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for joining me on Beck's Quest. And till next week, I'll see you. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.